It was easy. It was recast T'Challa. This is an important character. His skin happens to be dark. There's no other character like this. And he provided the most ever inspiration that's ever happened. Highest box office grossing, as well as challenging, attacking those stereotypes. He beat those. And in X-Men 97 this week, we learned just how destroying Chadwick Boseman's character T'Challa is dedication that Marvel Studios has. So in X-Men 97, we got to see that the Black Panther was on screen for a second. He had a couple of Dora Milaje, the adorned ones, that were behind him also. Also in this episode, during a television scene like on this World Council, we got to hear Captain America refer to T'Challa, or refer to the Black Panther as T'Chaka. Here's the clip.
For only history could be conned into forgiving us.
Sir, King T'Chaka is right.
So in 1997, when this show does take place, which is 5 years before 92, where Jubilee joins up with the X-Men during that first episode, in these 5 years, we're to believe that T'Chaka... Okay, it's so complicated. I don't have to get into the timeline stuff. Forget that. Forget it. Forget the timeline stuff. I don't got to map it out and show you that what happened in Fantastic Four's cartoon where T'Challa says...
It all began 10 years ago. That's when I heard the sound I would remember all my life.
10 years ago, T'Chaka died. I don't have to show you now that the Fantastic Four crossover with the X-Men, who also crossover with Spider-Man, who also crossover with Captain America, who's out of ice, and Iron Man, Tony Stark gets that metal shell. We got to see also crossovers in this episode, this week of X-Men 97, that Cloak and Dagger are out and about with Daredevil, who's been blinded, and all of these occurred on schedule, except the Black Panther franchise has got to be way off. This is illogical. This is dangerous. This is what I've been talking about, warning for. This is patterns that I keep noticing and bringing up when I see that there's a new game. It's got to do with his grandfather, his light-skinned grandfather. Don't ask me how someone light-skinned could be that light-skinned, living in a country where it's so close to the equator, everyone's skin should be dark. Where there's no mixing from foreigners, where I can see why his parents from there, his parents were there. Don't ask me why T'Challa isn't in the Black Panther video game. Don't ask me why T'Challa's name isn't used in the Black Panther video game by Cliffhanger Studios.
His portrayal of T'Challa, the Black Panther, is iconic and transcends any iteration of the character in any other medium from Marvel's past. And it's for that reason that we will not recast the character.
This is a long-term decision that Marvel Studios has made to evaporate this character. Where is he? We saw him in What If when Chadwick played that. He already voiced it. They already had the role and they used it. Where is T'Challa? Because now I'm seeing T'Chaka is going to be in the new What Ifs, is what I'm seeing. Where is this character? How could one character be so impactful and they can speak on his impact and pat themselves on the back, but in the same breath decide, enough? What kind of white supremacist do you have to be to go, shh, one of them broke through, we need to prevent this character from more airtime. In all of these major appearances, we'll just make sure that the story is more about his sister. Let's have a bastard child get created at the end of a movie and call that character T'Challa. Boo, you guys can have this one instead, which there's dangers behind that. When I watched this X-Men 97 episode, which was a good X-Men episode, but to see the lengths that they would go to violate their own canon that they already established from the Iron Man TV show, which happened in this period, and the Fantastic Four TV show, Spider-Man, as well as the X-Men. They would rather disregard what is set in universe than have T'Challa on screen. Bo DeMayo is not the reason for this. There's some tweets I'm going to put up on screen here, and you can pause to read them all, but you can read that this wasn't on Bo. This was not his choice. I have been made to seem paranoid by anyone who's against this recast T'Challa thing that I'm often tweeting about, creating short videos for every now and again, and persistent on the importance of this character. I'm not this high and heavy for Sam Wilson Falcon or War Machine or Ironheart. This is the greatest. This is the top. This is the most positive we've ever had in 2018 with this character. He is up there with a huge distance between whoever is the second place most impactful character when it comes to racial progression, when it comes to tackling stereotypes. There's nothing like the character that we have, and there's being excuses to take this character off the screen. Again, recast T'Challa has been taken through panic, distress, frenzy, and now that he's not in the X-Men cartoon, rage. Where's that from? Everything that I've ever said or put in a video is legit. And it is frightening how this character can't even be in an animated show. It's a decision from higher ups to say, no, none of that. When I'm reading comic books and I'm reading about how he's not the king of Wakanda anymore, and I'm going, bro, issue number 2, he's still not king. Issue number 3, we got the 10 issues. The writer doesn't correct that. I'm not paranoid or pretending to see a problem that isn't there. They really, Marvel Entertainment, President Dan Buckley, Chief Creative Officer Kevin Feige, is deliberately, forcefully not trying to emphasize the character of T'Challa of Black Panther, rather introduce competitors within the own franchise of Black Panther to make you disassociate the brand with that character. They're de-emphasizing T'Challa within his own franchise. It is happening in real time. And don't give me any excuses about the T'Child. His name will also be called T'Challa. That's a dead-end character who the progression will lead to nothing. I'm about done ranting here. I'm going to leave you with the TikTok that I made. Go watch it on TikTok or watch the video here, which is about to play right now. Thank you for coming. Thumbs up this video. Tweet Recast T'Challa. If you got a verified account, tweet it and you'll get it further. Tweet it under other people's accounts where they talk about the Black Panther. Get this message across that we cannot stand for this, and stop using Chadwick Boseman's name like he would stand for this. He played the character to elevate the character, to uplift. He took this role for no other reason than that. When he was dying, he was reading some of the script of the Black Panther 2, which was finished, and he had input in that script. We are not honoring him by disassociating ourselves with that script and say, let's make a new script. This time, Chadwick Boseman's gonna die. That's not what alive Chadwick Boseman wanted in the movie. What are we doing? I'm quoting something from an interview with Ryan Coogler on the Black Panther Wakanda Forever official podcast, episode 1. He's talking to Ta-Nehisi Coates. Chadwick Boseman saw the script. He approved of the script, and he would die 2 weeks later. Using his name is not correctly remembering who the man was. There's no reason why the freaking cartoon can't have T'Challa in it, who is not the same person as Chadwick Boseman, and it would not be Chadwick Boseman would not be okay with this. Here's the TikTok I mentioned like a minute ago that I didn't get to playing. 2 years ago, at the end of Wakanda Forever, Marvel introduced a new character as if to say, he's next. This T'Child was rejected by fans wanting T'Challa recast. And I can show you why. Superman's popularity skyrocketed to where it is today from major media appearances and successful ones. Same with the Hulk. He's had his own TV show, movies that would reboot and recast over and over again until Hulk got really big. A character like Hawkeye would cameo in other people's movies. He's been in Avengers movies, which are high profile. He's got his own TV show. But we have a general understanding of why he's a C-list character. Now scoot out the way for T'Challa. This guy's shown up in comic books, a little bit of cartoons for an episode here or there, and not until 2016, where boom, his own movie now, skyrocketing him up into where? A-list, faces of the franchise status. Now I'm all for getting this character even more higher, but without him on screen, he's gonna be decreasing. Every passing year, this character's popularity dwindles, and let's talk about TJ. The T'Child, who doesn't have comic art because he's not a comic book character, could grow in popularity, but his existing and being the Black Panther comes at the cost of progression. As the T'Child grows in popularity, T'Challa's will decrease. And with a Marvel reboot, all these resources that just went to TJ disappear like that. They'll start phase 1 of their new films universe with the Black Panther. Fans are yearning for the same popularity method that got this guy elevated to this status and maintained it. We never had high budget films based off of his son who also called himself Superman. There's a reason why Clark Kent is where he is today. The TJ character comes at the expense of the most positively impactful dark-skinned character in the history of fiction. Him. Every day he's off screen is a problem. Chadwick Boseman would not be okay with this. Please stop using his name as if he's some gatekeeper to progression of this legendary character who's existed over 50 years. But don't take it from me, listen to his brother.
The role was far too important, and it was bigger than just one person because of the effect that it had on black children.
Accepting a substitute T'Challa has a high cost.